Lazarus, come forth!
Good morning. It's before noon. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I'm your host, Mike S. Miller, and I do apologize that I have not been doing this regularly. I'm going to try to get back on that saddle. Fill me up, Holy Spirit. I feel filled with the Spirit right now. So, woo! God bless us, everyone, one and all. Sorry for wasting my time, your time, all the time that I waste doing things that are not productive or glorifying to God. Hi, everybody. Let's say hi to who's here. James Hayes, Rhaegar Targaryen, Force Ghost Fabio. Is that it? Is that it so far? So far, that's, hey, it's the beginning of the show. I haven't been doing this for a minute. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, wonderful day. I don't know what the temperature is, but boy, it looks beautiful outside here in sunny San Diego. Praise Jesus indeed. Force Ghost Fabio. Praise Jesus indeed. What's up, Mistletoe? James Hayes says, well, hello, Mike. Everyone here in chat, hope you're doing good and feeling well. That's the plan. Do good, feel well. I'm not going to complain about my physical ailments. I played volleyball on Saturday. We had a church barbecue on Saturday, and I was out there playing volleyball. I'm always hesitant to do things that are going to exacerbate the pains in my lower back. But, yeah, I don't know what I did, but I gacked up my foot. Jeff says, someone is being feisty on the interwebs again. I know. I need to. Arlene, what's up? Good afternoon, my darling. Force Ghost says, now that Bitcoin has fallen, Cross Examinations is back. Bitcoin, I think, is where are we on Bitcoin? I know Ether is pumping, which hurts me because I had this particular bill to pay that I needed cash for. All my money's in crypto, guys, so just so you know. And I think you do know. But so I needed to pay for this rather extravagant bill that tomorrow. And so I was like, all right, now it takes a minute, right? It takes like a day, 1 to 3 days to cash out from Coinbase to your bank. And so I was like, all right. So I cashed out on Saturday the amount I needed for the bill. And then today, yesterday, Ether starts going, wee! And I'm like, why couldn't I have done it yesterday? But then, you know what? Here's the thing. If I did it yesterday and it took more than 1 day or more than 2 days, because as I said, 1 to 3 days, I wouldn't have the cash. Actually, I didn't even check my bank account. I'll do that later. But I might not have had the money to cash out. Is Bitcoin down? No, it's at 34, so it's still up. It pumped up. What was that? A couple days ago? 3 days ago, something like that. It pumped up from 32.4 all the way to 35.2, and now it's at 34.8. So it's about 2/3 of the way up to the pump. But that's how pumps are. They don't pump and then stay at the peak of the pump, right? They pump and then they come down, and then they as if it's a thing, they'll form a new channel, or they'll form a consolidation pennant, or they'll form something before the next major move. So up or down, whatever it will be. It's down in the sense of days. If I go to the daily chart, oh shoot, I'm looking at the wrong thing. It's certainly down from the peak, but it's still in that channel that I was talking about earlier. I said, look, Bitcoin's going to be in this $30,000 to $40,000 channel for weeks, and it's been weeks. So hopefully, I'm just kidding. We know you were busy with your mum. So I know I'm not even showing you what I'm looking at on the chart. You don't want to look at the. You guys want to look at the chart? La 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 la. You guys don't want to look at the chart. This is cross examinations. We don't need to. Cousin is streaming at noon. Oh man. All right. Well, you guys feel free to open up a second window for Cousin. I'm drinking some. Look at that. Look at that. It's ice in my coffee. I thought your freezer was broken, Mike. How do you have ice in your coffee, you asked. Thank you for asking. So, my wife has gone to LA this weekend. Aloha, Edwin. If you're not busy, I can send you the link, E-Bink. Mike say Ethereum is girly boy. No way. Ethereum, dude, Ethereum is the future. I'm streaming. What? It's Bachan. Yeah. Hold on. All right. So, I never knew his freezer was broken. Wow. Buy a bag of ice at the gas station. So here's the deal. My wife has gone to LA. We've had this refrigerator. So we had a new refrigerator. I don't know, several years ago. It's been a while. But we took our old refrigerator and we put it in the garage. And subsequently, it got kind of gross because it was in the garage. And so when our freezer broke, I'm like, oh, well, I'll just bring the old refrigerator back in the house. And she's like, no, that one's gross. I'm really kind of I'm trying to make this a quick story. And so she was gone. I'm like over here and I'm ordering parts for the dryer. I'm gonna fix it myself. And I was like I was trying to figure out how to fix the freezer, but nothing I could find fit the problems that I was having with the freezer. There was just nothing. Anyways, so she's gone. I spent I'm not going to get into how the fridge got gross, unrelated coma. It's pretty gross. It was a project. I dragged that fridge out to the patio yesterday, opened it up, hosed it out. Suffice to say, my nephew used to live here, and that was his fridge. Anyways, or he used that fridge when he was living in the garage. And it was an all day long project. I cleaned the crap out of that. It looks 95% brand new. Although there are some broken brackets, so I'm gonna have to order those. And she gets home and in the fridge, because I had to plug it in. I put it in the kitchen. I plugged it in because it takes hours for a fridge to actually cool down. And then I wasn't sure if it would work after I hosed it out, because I don't know if I might messed up some coil or whatever. Finally, it's cold, so I stick a bag of ice in there, and it's like, freeze, dude! It's so cold. The freezer gets so cold in that thing. Anyways, she gets home and she's like, and I'm look at it, and then she opens it up and she's like, ah. So, because I turn around, I go like, look, it was either this or we buy a new fridge, and a new fridge is gonna be like $2,000. So. Look, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I was talking to my brother about this the other day. I was like, there's Rich Dad, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's two kinds of people. There's poor dad, Poor dad wants to look rich, and so he spends all his money looking rich, and then he ends up poor. This is a very bad summary of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but it is what it's part of what you get out of it. Rich Dad doesn't mind looking poor until his investments are such that he can afford to, quote unquote, look rich, and it doesn't affect his bottom line. Right? If you're like out there and you're like, I want to look good, so I'm gonna lease this Maserati or Tesla. I'm gonna go lease this or buy, put down all my savings into this very expensive car, or all this stuff, right? Just to look, to have that keeping up with the Joneses kind of a thing, right? My dad used to call it being house poor. My dad had a very, I wouldn't say he was a different part of the poor dad mentality. But anyways, so I don't want to dump $2,000 into a new fridge when I got a perfectly good fridge. Not perfectly good. Like I said, I got to buy a couple brackets, but that's like $50. $50, and everything's, well, actually, I could probably use a new ice maker. I didn't price check that. That's probably going to be a couple $100. But say I get that too, $250, and I have a perfectly good fridge versus, $2,000 for a new fridge. So, anyways, well, that might explain how it got gross. Wait. Yeah, Mike put his nephew in the dirty garage in the freezer. Did I OxyClean the fridge Billy Mays style? Oh, I didn't think about OxyClean. I have OxyClean. I didn't know. I didn't. No, I sprayed it out, and then I went out there with the sponge, a magic eraser, soap, and elbow grease, and I just worked. I cleaned the snot out of that. Well, not snot, but there was no snot in it. There was some weed in it. One of the bins that I was like hosing out, I looked in after it was already, not that I would have smoked it anyways, but after it was already a little, like full of water, I looked in there and there's like a gram of weed in there. I'm like, Andrew, you left your stash in my fridge. Anyways, ice trays. Hello, Sean. Welcome. How you doing? Ice maker is pretty cheap for a fridge if it's already hooked up to the water. Yeah, I should look that up because the thing works. So, like, if I put ice in the ice tray, it'll push the ice out, but it's not. If I remember correctly, because we haven't had that thing in the house for a long time, the ice maker itself isn't working. The water, or actually, I still have one of the brand new filter for the water thing, so I just popped that in there last night too. Isn't that funny? Because I was buying a brand new ice water filter. I bought one for the old fridge, and it didn't fit our new fridge. And then I'm like, oh crap! And so it was just under the sink. And then like we dragged this out. I'm like, hey, look at that! It's the ice filter. Anyways, where are we going? This is an outstanding start to the CE reboot. Oh, thank you very much. I'm in the office. Did you give your son blonde highlights, or is that just lighting in the office? Eden gave him green highlights. Would you like to see? Weed nephew in the fridge. Yeah, and Andrew's been gone for. Boy, how long has it? I don't know, man. We've had multiple people live in that room. I had my niece live there. My nephew lived there. My brother lived there. And this random dude, Al, lived there. Random dude, Al, was the most interesting. He was basically my servant because he was the guy that built our brick wall on the side of our house. And then one day I saw him sleeping in the car in front of our house, and I'm like, "What's going on?" Because his house is only like he lives like a mile away, and I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, and so I started talking about his wife, and like, so he got kicked out. And he's like, "Hey, you have that room in the garage?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, if you let me stay in that room, I'll just do whatever you want around the house. And I'm like, and he was a handyman, so I'm like, deal. So I started having him just do handyman stuff all over the house while he's living in the garage. So, anyways, yes, Random Al. I knew him. We all knew him. Have you been to the post office? No. I'll try. I'll try to get over there, P Money. I know. Sorry. You guys want to see JoJo's hair? I'll get JoJo. JoJo, come here. Come here. They want to see your hair. Come on. Little boy in underwear. Eden did this to JoJo last night. What do you think about it, JoJo? You like it?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it. You like it. Okay. So JoJo loves these people on YouTube called the Dorby Brothers. And they have, like, whatever. They sing, he plays this god-awful song over and over and over again. Anyways. Joker mode. Yes. Did Random Al draw backup panels in Lone Star 2? No, Random Al was gone long before that. Ruth says you have 100 children. Send one of them to the post office. You can't pick up. I don't think I put... Oh, maybe I did put their name on pickup. That's a good boy. Beast Boy. All right. Let's see. I haven't done the news bit in a while. I kind of feel like... You know how I was saying that I was like really short on time and I really didn't want to like... I wanted to try to make cross-examinations shorter, and that was one of the things. Today, it's like I need to work on a story. I'm working to develop a story for someone else, and it's not BitBoy. It's yet another secret project, but it's. So I need to write. Writing is such a totally different frame of mind than drawing. It's like sometimes it's intimidating. It is intimidating for me as a writer. Trying to find that thread that is interesting, unique, purposeful, and trying to find it and then grab a hold on it and not let go of it. It's very, very difficult. And I find, interestingly enough, my mind best wanders into that mode when I'm just driving with no sound. Like, well, not no sound, but not like I'm deaf, but just driving wherever I'm going, no radio. It's best if there's nobody else in the car. Writing is 100% theater of the mind. Yeah. And but that's the thing. It's like, if I'm in front of the computer, you know how easy it is to get distracted from writing? Click. That easy. Oh my gosh. But if I'm driving, the rest of my body is occupied. I can't do anything with my body. I can't pay attention to anything else. I can only pay attention to the road in front of me, the cars around me, and my mind can go wherever I want. I came up with an entire storyline for my book, Devil's Keeper, on a drive from San Diego to San Jose one time. You are carving out a nice segment there, writing, adapting, and developing projects for some of these large audience clients. That's the plan. The thing I'm writing right now is a proposal, the story proposal, and the client I cannot discuss, but it's a secret project worthy of secrecy. It'll be interesting. It'll be very, very interesting. Should this proposal be accepted and moved on? It will be very interesting. Let's just put it that way. While we are still off topic, would you like to argue for Christianity on a debate channel? I've been watching this channel called Politically Provoked, and it's pretty good for free speech. Yeah, that sounds like fun, actually. Sounds like fun. Can Random Al do comic book colors? No, Random Al disappeared. and I mean, he was an older guy, and it did kind of seem like he was very, very high strung. My nephew was trying to convince me that he was on meth, but I don't think he was on meth. I think he was just like old ADD dude. Jeff says most of my good ideas came to me driving, sitting outside having a cigar, mowing the lawn, or on the crapper. Yeah, you have to be disengaged from the stuff that distracts you, right? You can't. Okay, that's not entirely true. You can get story ideas. This happens to me all the time. I'll be watching a story. I'll be watching a story. I'll be watching a movie or something, and my version of the plot will deviate from the plot the writers created. Like my mind kind of. This is why very, very often, more often than not, I know. Give me any whodunit, 99 times out of 100, I'll tell you whodunit. Like in the first 5 minutes. And I'm always like projecting. I mean, I'll even say that this drives my wife probably a little nuts, but like we'll be watching something we've never watched before, and we've got this set up, and we're doing this thing, and there's a pregnant pause, and I'll say what the next line is, even though I've never seen the movie before, because Hollywood writers are so cliche. But anyways, yeah, but sometimes it's like the movie's going this way, and my mind will be like, it would be more interesting is if this character took this route and all this, and so like it'll deviate. I could take some of those deviations and like sort of build stories out of them, but gosh, I should write this stuff down when I do this, but I don't because I'm terrible. But yeah, separating your mind from the distractions, I find to be the best way to actually craft a story. Berserk says, I wish I was on meth. Oh, speaking of that, the kid that, CJ, he stays here more often than... Hi. Streaming. Oh, you're doing your... cross-examinations. He's off meth. And by meth, I mean the prescribed meth. I can't remember, whatever it is, that they forced him on for having ADD. And he's like, I did it. He's like, they finally took me off. And it's like, yeah, it's probably because you're 18 and they can't really force you to be on it anymore. But sweet Berserk, I'll have him send the rest of his pills to you. Just kidding, not doing that. Toilet and shower are best for thinking. Washing dishes, washing the dishes, menial tasks where, like I said, your body is sort of in auto mode, auto man. Like you said, mowing the lawn, doing anything, chopping weeds, whatever it is, where your mind is not actively engaged because you can do it all on autopilot, right? Then your mind can begin to wander and find rabbit trails to go down on its own. Has Odyssey gotten streaming up and running yet? I hear it has. I haven't figured it out for myself. Somebody posted some stuff in, I think might have been Arlene, in the Discord, but I can't. There's something missing from the explanation, so I need to figure it out. Random Al disappears suddenly, and that was the other time Mike cleaned the fridge. Mike could have written a better season of 8 of Game of Thrones. Yeah, you wouldn't have had to be freaking rocket scientist for that. JoJo could have written a better season. Methadone. That's it. I think that's it. Yeah. Always find I love this story, but want more of this aspect works better than I'm going to write this part better. Let's try, but I want more of this aspect works better than I'm going to write this part better. That's interesting. Vic also says methadone. A lot of methadone users in the chat. Hi. Force Ghost, I think we could all write a better script. Yeah. What you can get that prescribed for ADD. Yes, ADD, the bad parenting disease. You know I'm a booze hound anyways. Yeah, I'm sure the methadone would really help. How long has Mike had a big hammer on the wall? Ever since my interview with Shad. I put that on the wall for the interview with Shad. So, hanging clothes out on the line. We've been doing that since the dryer broke. I hope the pieces come in today. If the parts come in today, then I can hopefully fix the dryer. If it's not those parts, I really don't know what the problem is. You're talking about Adderall, not methadone. No, it's got the word meth in it. All right. We are caught up. We are 8 minutes in. Does anyone remember? Does anyone? Whoa. Yeah. 125 subscribers. Let's see where we were on the last episode of Cross Examinations. We were on 2 Samuel chapter 9. Did we do chapter 10 as well? Because I remember it being short. No, we did not. All right. 2 Samuel chapter 10. Let's do King James Bible Online. 2 Samuel chapter 10. All right. Cross examinations. I thought I was all right. Hold on a second. There's somebody here. Wait a second. All right. You know what, Nasser? Just because this is cross examinations, I won't block you. Don't freaking bring up anything, or I will. Methadone is what was used to wean my friend off of cocaine. Alrighty then. What was this show again? I seem to remember some kind of book with a lowercase t on it. What? I thought it was a wagon, not a horse. You're mixing your metaphors. Falling off the wagon. The wagon is when you're trying to stay off of something bad, right? Like you're an alcoholic, right? And you get on the wagon to when you're trying to quit. Falling off the wagon is when you start drinking again, right? But getting back on that horse means getting back on the thing that's going to head you in the right direction. It's a Bible, Mike. Oh, the Bible. Lowercase t. I'm praying for you. All right, Kickmaster, he's already starting crap. Hey, I'll take prayers from whoever. It doesn't mean your prayers... Not you, Nasser. I'm sure your heart's in the right place. Doesn't mean your prayers are being heard. God does not hear everyone's prayers. That's biblical. Getting back on the horse is picking yourself up after a setback. That is correct. Getting back on the wagon means getting back off of whatever is dragging your life down. Usually it's drugs or as Berserk Guts knows. He's never actually been on the wagon, but you know. Why doesn't God hear everyone's prayers? Asks Nasser. Because I'm trying to remember. Anyone remember the specific scripture where it says God? It's something like God does not hear the prayers of the unrighteous. I could Google it, but I'd really rather just get into 2 Samuel right now. Edwin, I will leave it to you to find the appropriate scripture. I think you know what I'm talking about. God hears the prayers of the righteous, says Arlene. That is correct. Jerry, it's not my fault you're back on the wagon. Dick, it's off the wagon, Jerry. In the old days, how do you think they got the alcohol from town to town? Crom only hears you if you know the riddle of steel. We're going to stick with Arlene's. God hears the prayers of the righteous. That is correct. And our righteous is imbued unto us by Christ. Otherwise, no one is righteous. No, not one. John 9:31. I mean, you could have typed it out. Now you're going to make me... All right, let me open this up again. Let me open up another one. Here we go. Now we know that God heareth not sinners, but if any man be a worshipper of God and doeth his will, him he heareth. Proverbs 15:29. Middle Earth. Therefore, Jeremiah 7:16. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. Jeremiah 7:16. All right. Somebody post Proverbs, because I don't want to do a search. I already have 2 Samuel up here. Somebody post Proverbs 15:29 in the chat, please, so young Nasser can learn. And anyone else who has a similar question. For the Lord is far from the wicked, but heareth the prayer of the righteous. And who determines who is righteous? God. And how do we become righteous? Through Christ alone. Wow, that could lead us down a whole rabbit trail of a Bible study, but we're not going to, because we're on 2 Samuel chapter 10. And it came to pass after this that the king of the children of Ammon died, and Hanun his son reigned in his stead. Then said David, I will show kindness unto Hanun the son of Nahash, and as his father showed kindness unto me. And David sent to comfort him by the hand of his servants. For his father and David's servants came unto the land of the children of Ammon. And the princess of the children of Ammon said unto Hanun their lord, Thinkest thou that David doth honor thy father, that he hath sent comforters unto thee? Hath not David rather sent his servants unto thee to search the city, and to spy it out, and to overthrow it? Wherefore Hanun took David's servants, and shaved off the one half of their beards, and cut off their garments in the middle, even to their buttocks, and sent them away. So basically, he left them with t-shirts. They're running around with t-shirts on. When they told it unto David, he sent to meet them, because the men were greatly ashamed. And the king said, Tarry at Jericho until your beards be grown, and then return. Notice he didn't say anything about their clothing, but that's fine. I'm sure that's not necessary to the story. They'll figure it out. And when the children of Ammon saw that they stank before David, what colorful language! Whoa, you guys stink. The children of Ammon sent and hired the Syrians of Beth Rehob and the Syrians of Zobah, 20,000 footmen, and of King Maacah 1,000 men, and of Ishtob 12,000 men. And when David heard of it, he sent Joab and all the host of the mighty men. And the children of Ammon came out and put the battle in array at the entering of the gate. And the Syrians of Zobah and of Rehob and of Ishtob and Maacah were by themselves in the field. When Joab saw that the front of the battle was against him before and behind, he chose of all the choice men of Israel and put them in array against the Syrians. And the rest of the people he delivered into the hand of Abishai his brother, that he might put them in array against the children of Ammon. And he said, If the Syrians be too strong for me, then thou shalt help me. But if the children of Ammon be too strong for thee, then I will come and help thee. Be of good courage, and let us play the men for our people, and for the cities of our God, and the Lord do that which seemeth him good. And Joab drew nigh, and the people that were with him, unto the great battle against the Syrians, and they fled before him. And when the children of Ammon saw that the Syrians were fled, then they fled also before Abishai, and entered into the city. So Joab returned from the children of Ammon, and came to Jerusalem. And when the Syrians saw that they were smitten before Israel, they gathered themselves together. And Hadarezer sent and brought out the Syrians that were beyond the river, and they came to Halam, and Shobach, the captain of the host of Hadarezer, went before them. And when it was told David, he gathered all Israel together and passed over Jordan and came to Halam. And the Syrians set themselves in array against David and fought him, and the Syrians fled before Israel. And David slew men of 700 chariots of the Syrians and 40,000 horsemen, and smote Shobach, the captain of their host, who died there. And when all the kings that were servants to Hadarezer saw that they were smitten before Israel, they made peace with Israel and served them. So the Syrians feared to help the children of Ammon anymore. And isn't that a wonderful lesson for what is it? Peace through strength. Because David's mighty men, they weren't, what is it? 40,000? What do you say? 40,000 horsemen and 700 chariots. I think David's mighty men were. Does anybody know the actual number of David's mighty men? Middle Earth story time. Edwin? Edwin's pointing out, we are made righteous through the perfect faith of Christ. Amen. And sacrifice. We are robed in his righteousness through his sacrifice. That is how it's done. It's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, peace through strength right here, because they thought they could be all mighty and, outnumber and crush Israel. But no, David's mighty men were a very, very mighty bunch who I can't remember. I can't go through it, but each of the there's stories of several of the mighty men. Some of them taking out like hundreds of people by themselves. It was like, think of like having a bunch of Samsons like as your forward man. This isn't like 300. There were some pretty impressive guys there. It speaks of the works of his men, and it's crazy stuff. Yeah, hopefully I think we do get into it in either this or in Kings. Or is it Chronicles? I don't know when we'll get there. Someone else might have an idea, but it's good stuff. Good stuff. I love these stories. And I love to be able to read them out loud, share them with you, and make them more, I don't know. I think when you're there's a difference between listening to something, reading something, and reading something out loud to other people, right? I think that's probably the guy that gets the most out of the things, like, is the pastor or I for some reason I'm like flashing back to a scene like in an old synagogue where there's only one scroll. I mean, there's more scrolls, but there's only one guy reading, right? And he's reading from the scriptures and reading to an audience. And I think that's the guy that gets the most out of it. So like here, it's good for me. 30 captains. 30 captains. First Chronicles chapter 11. Oh, let's do it. First Chronicles chapter 11. These also are the chief of the mighty men whom David had, who strengthened themselves with him in his kingdom and with all Israel to make him king, according to the word of the Lord concerning Israel. And this is the number of the mighty men whom David had: Jeshobeam, it just looks like Jeshobeam, and Hakmonite, Hakmonite, the chief of the captains. He lifted up his spear against 300 slain by him at one time. I'm telling you, dude, it's like Samson's. It's like a team of Samsons. And after him was Eleazar, the son of Dodo, the Aohite, who was one of the three mighties. And he was with David at Pasdamim. And there were the Philistines gathered together to battle, where was a parcel of ground full of barley. And the people fled from before the Philistines. And they set themselves in the midst of that parcel and delivered it and slew the Philistines. And the Lord saved them by a great deliverance. Now 3 of the 30 captains went down to the rock to David, unto the cave of Adullam. And the host of the Philistines encamped in the valley. All right. Anyways, I think that makes the point. I can stop sharing here. I think that makes the point. These are like, it's like a superhero team. Actually, I can't remember who it was. Let me look it up. David's Mighty Man. There's comics. I need to get a hold of this guy. David's Mighty Man alias comics. All right, CG. This was creator checklist. Why? What is going on here? Creators working. Dadgummit. Cover gallery. Let me see the cover. Maybe I can read the community comments. This was all right. Here, let me show you. Now I have to show the screen again. It's driving me nuts. I can't remember the name of the guy that we published. But obviously he's a Christian dude. He was writing this book. He did this book about David's Mighty Men. It was a cool thing we published back in the Alias days. And for some bizarre reason, I can't remember who it was. What the heck? Javier Saltares. There we go. Oh, no, that's the writer. Javier Saltares. Art by Javier Saltares and Chris Ivey. Let's see what Javier Saltares is up to lately. Maybe I can get him to join us on Javier Saltares Marvel. House of M Wolverine. Comic Vine. Comic artist. Let's see if there's somewhere else I can find him. Get a hold of him. Oh, here is in comic art fans. Ooh, that's cool. Look at that Ghost Rider. I got to get a hold of him. I got to get him on my channel. Javier. Yeah, that was good stuff. Good stuff back in the day. Sorry, I'm kind of going off on a little tangent here. Anyways, stop sharing. Squirrel time. I do apologize for that's a little bit of a squirrel, but I gotta find that guy. Javier Saltares. How am I gonna find him? He's probably not on. Is he on Twitter? Javier Saltares, are you on Twitter, Javier? He's on Comic Vine, DeviantArt. Javier Saltares, DeviantArt. Yeah, that's him. All right, I'm gonna track this guy down. It's been a minute. Oh gosh, he hasn't posted anything on DeviantArt since 2012. Hey, it just reminded me. I mean, don't you want more Christian creators making comics that you can, right? 3 Mighties, 30 Captains. No, I think there were 3 like top guys, because what's his face? The one that David shagged his wife, the Hittite. He was referred to as one of David's mighty men, but he wasn't one of the 3. So I think the captains would also be considered mighty men. What was his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Google him. There's some current stuff for him. I'm on Google. Oh, no, I'm not. Am I on Google? I'm on DuckDuckGo. Anytime past month. Ghost Rider number 8. Ghost Rider number 12. Comic Art Fans. Comics Go Collect. Comics G. Comic Link. Comic Art Fans. Real Art Finder. I might have to go look on my old computer and just try to find one of his emails. I never let a serious concern stand in the way of a smart aleck remark, Mike. You should know that. Yes. What's up, Jay? OT Justice of God League. OT Justice of God League. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wonder if you could probably still find that David's Mighty Men book out there somewhere if you guys are interested in digging that up. Who else was there? Royden Lepp. He's another believer. He does. You guys familiar with Royden Lepp? Royden. Should get him on here sometime. Royden Lepp. I keep sharing screen. Sorry, this is turning into a meet your local Christian creator thing. So here's his concept video photography branding illustration. Royden does this great stuff, but for us at Alias Comics, when we were doing cross culture, that was our brand. Cross culture, that was our brand for our Christian, our specifically Christian line of books. Royden did a book called David, and it was great. Oh, kind of hard to see. Pinterest view file. He did this book, David. See? Oh, wait. Did we call it Community Comics? Community Comics. Cross Culture was my brand. So, yeah, he did this really cool sort of animated style David book. It was cool. It was cool. We did some really good stuff back then. Who else was in there? Ben Avery. He did... Well, he was working on one of the Zondervan books. We did Z Comics. He did Time Flies. Then we did Hannah the Morning Star. You guys have all seen that, right? We did a number of stuff. I can't remember everything. Anyhow, I'll keep looking them up. Arlene, if you can find any good like current links, let me know. Anyways, any other questions, comments, prayer requests, worshiping, right, and let duck go. Kevin, that's right. Nasser is going to talk about you on his live stream later. Yeah, I was trolling Mike on his God channel, acting real annoying. Just kidding. Yes, Kevin Grievous. Kevin Grievous is famous. Yeah, Kevin's a good guy. He's also a hardcore believer. But he won't come on YouTube for some reason. I don't understand it. I tried to get him to expound on why he won't come on YouTube. He's like, and I'm not going to get into that stuff. I think he thinks it's still Comicsgate stuff. That's one of the guys. Well, okay, I don't want to talk out of hand for Kevin, but I'm just going to say there's plenty of people, good guys, conservative guys. I'm in a group of over 120 conservative creators, comic book creators. I would say most of which, because a lot of the guys that are in Comicsgate, like those top tier guys, they're in that group too. 90-something% of them want nothing to do with Comicsgate. Let's not pretend that's not controversial. Okay. Nasser has the worst stream in and around comics. Okay, let's not make this a Kick Nasser stream. All right, thank you. There is the word for word Bible comic, mainly funds on Kickstarter. Yes. That is oh my gosh, he's been on my show. I had Simon. I'm drawing a blank on the rest of his name. Simon something. What's up, Dennis Baruch? Just saying hi. Well, hello and aloha. That aloha means hello and goodbye. And I love you, I think. Tell him how is he supposed to spread the gospel. Tell him he's committing a sin, not coming on YouTube. Trick him. Yeah, we don't do that. Simon Amadeus Pilario. Thank you. Like Scott Snyder. Scott is not in the group. There's a couple secret groups. Well, they're private groups on Facebook of Christian creators, both Christian comic creators, or not Christian, conservative comic creators. There's a couple of different groups, And then there's actually one for like, no, that's Christians in Entertainment. There's some private groups on Facebook y'all don't know about because you're not in the know like me. Mike, a ton of creeps moved into CG. You and Doug were right. Oh, Berserk. Thank you. But we knew we were right back then. And Edwin sounded the siren call before I did. He was ahead of me in the in what was going on. So guys, and I can't believe I'm saying this. Take it easy on Nasser. What's R2D2 saying? Yeah. I mean, we've had Simon on my show, Arlene. I mean, I can't remember when. It's been a while. Bragging equals bad. True. But hey, look. Is it bragging or is it just what is it when you say that you were right? I don't think bragging is the right word. There's another word, and it's not a good thing. Told you soing? Something like that. I don't know. Someone tell me the word. Is it bragging? I don't think that's bragging. Bragging is like saying that you've done something. Just being right about something. Just being right about something isn't actually accomplishing anything, right? Bragging is like bragging about something you've done, isn't it? Secret Facebook group? Ha, that's what you think. Zuckerberg knows all, sees all. It's true. Do you you want to see my here, let me go to my page on Facebook. This is my what do you call it? This is my big gloating. That's it. That's crowing. Also good. Here's my my background image for Facebook. Yeah, kick me off, Zuck. I don't care. I've already downloaded all my images. Oh, this is cool stuff. You ever seen this stuff?
Hi everyone, it's Molly.
I don't want to hear it. I just want to see it. Oh my gosh, why does it do that? That's cool stuff. Watching those videos. I don't know why. I know, squirrel. I know a squirrel. Affirming. I have to say I haven't missed Facebook at all. All my family is on Facebook. That's why I'm very hesitant to just abandon such a place. All my family's on there. Well, not all of them, but everybody who's, whatever. And plus, on Facebook, I don't befriend people. I don't accept friend requests. I have 1,000-something friend requests pending, and I've deleted crap tons of people because I don't actually know them. So on Facebook, on Twitter, I don't care. Everybody follows everybody, whatever it is. But on Facebook, that's for me and people I know in real life. Let me amend that. People I know and generally like in real life. It is my echo chamber. Except for some of the people I know disagree with me, so it's not really an echo chamber, except for the fact that I don't allow trolls, I don't allow random people to be part of my Facebook community. So, Edwin, there's a way for you to actually take advantage of social media in that sense. DJ Peterson looks around suspiciously. Mike deleted me on Facebook. That is correct. Like I said, I don't allow trolls or people I dislike on my Facebook. Which is a friend. Well, I've never met you, Jeff. Like I said, people I know. Like we've had a meal together. We've broken bread. I went to high school with you, or I'm somehow related to you. That kind of thing. I have very few people that I've never met in real life on my Facebook. So I keep it that way on purpose. I wonder what Bob Ross would have done with this method if he had lived long enough to learn it. Bro, I'm like legitimately, I love how this stuff looks, and I know it's like abstract, whatever, but I just think it looks so cool. I usually just hate abstract art, but I don't think this is necessarily abstract. I just think it's cool. It just looks cool. So I if anything, I would someday kind of enjoy messing with stuff like this. Dude, can you imagine if you had something like this like on your car? I mean, you couldn't do it because it's not flat and so it wouldn't set. And I don't like this one. I like the ones with the blow dryer. Anyways, Molly's Artistry. Stop sharing. And we're over an hour. Thanks, everybody, for being here. God bless you. Oh, wow, Mike is real picky. You have to get bought him Mercedes-Benz friend you on Facebook. Yes. Thanks all for being here. Cross-examination is back. I'll try harder to do this regularly. God bless us, everyone. And pray for each other. Pray for me. Pray for Nasser. Pray for your enemies, and you know who those are. God bless us, and I'll see you on the next exciting episode of Cross Examinations.